You're watching Camnet TV, not just another channel. Welcome to our news. The headlines. Watch out, social media users, as President Edgar Lungu signs the cybersecurity bill into law. Confusion continues to characterize MMD. 35-year-old defiler of 4 girls committed to the High Court for sentencing. In international news, EU looks at ways to send aid to vicinity gutted by INFERNO in Sierra Leone. And in sports news, Zambia has for the 3rd time in a row failed to qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations. For the details, join me shortly after this break.
I'm Ambassador Frank Mutsubila. My 50 years journey in the media has now taken me to Camnet television. I'm very excited to join this amazing inner family. The importance of governance issues cannot be overemphasized. Every Tuesday at 20:45, I'll be going under the skin of a governance issue with my guest. I'll be interrogating the guest so that you can make an informed decision. I'll be coming on every Tuesday at 20:45 with Frank on Camnet.
Are you a qualified and skilled marketing person? Have you got the passion and motivation as a marketer? Camnet TV is looking for self-motivated qualified marketers. For more details, please call 0962 965 883 or send your details to the email info@camnettvafrica.com.
Remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel. With the details, my name is Liseli Kanyanga Mubanga. The Lusaka Magistrate Court has convicted and committed a 35-year-old man to the High Court for sentencing for defiling 4 girls aged between 9 and 13. This is in a case in which Joseph Winga, a builder of Chamba Valley, was charged with 4 counts of defilement, contrary to the laws of Zambia. When the matter came up for judgment before Lusaka Magistrate Fides Hamaundu, the court convicted the accused on account that there is overwhelming evidence against him that he committed the offense. Magistrate Hamaundu, in delivering her judgment Friday morning, stated that it was not in dispute that the convict defiled the 4 minors. More in this report.
Joseph Winga, the man who defiled 4 minors, is likely to spend 15 or more years in custody after the court Friday morning found him guilty. Appearing for his judgment before Magistrate Fides Amaundu on the 26th of March 2021, Winga could not escape his fate but found its reality. Magistrate Amaundu, in delivering a judgment, stated that it was not in dispute that Winga defiled the 4 victims as there was overwhelming evidence against him. However, the magistrate could not sentence him after his conviction but committed him to the Lusaka High Court as the mandatory maximum sentence for defilement was beyond her powers. According to Section 138 of the Penal Code, Chapter 87 of the Laws of Zambia, any person found guilty of a defilement offense upon conviction is liable to a term of imprisonment of not less than 15 years. The 4 girls he defiled are aged between 9 and 13 years old. During trial, the 4 victims testified that on the material day, the 3rd of July 2020, they were playing and suddenly they saw the grandmother of the 13-year-old victim who requested that they escort her and the convict to his place. After they reached Winga's place, the grandmother to the 13-year-old victim entered the house with him while they remained playing outside. However, she left shortly, leaving the 4 victims at the convict's place. This made Winga find an opportunity to take advantage of the 4 girls when they requested for water to drink, and he ushered them in his house and locked the house, according to the evidence before court from the victims. The convict firstly called the 13-year-old victim to his bedroom, where he sexually abused her, and later called for the younger ones. Evidence on record indicates that he made his victim watch how he was defiling each one of them, and after he was done, he requested for a second round. Other evidence indicates that the 13-year-old victim got the convicts' bedsheet and shoes as payment for having sexual intercourse with them. But when she went back to her grandmother's place, she was warned not to inform anyone of what was done to her and her friend, as she was going to put her grandmother in trouble. The convict, in his defense, however, denied defiling the girls and told the court that he had nothing to say over the issue because he came to Lusaka for his medication. Joseph Winger, the now convict, will soon appear before the High Court for his sentencing. Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
The Lusaka High Court has dismissed Justice Minister Given Lubinda's application to commence judicial review proceedings in the Lusaka High Court against the Lusaka City Council's delay to confer him with the aldermanship title. In this matter, Mr. Lubinda was seeking an order of mandamus compelling the local authority to implement its resolution to confer him an honorary title. Delivering ruling, Justice Pixie Hangaulo refused to grant Mr. Lubinda his application and dismissed the matter because it was not made within 3 months from the date when the grounds for application first arose. Justice Hangaulo adds that Mr. Lubinda did not place any good reason for the court to extend the period to commence judicial review. In an affidavit of verifying facts for leave to apply for judicial review, Mr. Lubinda submitted that he served as councillor of the Lusaka City Council for 15 consecutive years from 2001 to 2016, and on the 5th of May 2016, the Lusaka City Council decided to confer him with the status of alderman, which has however not been implemented to date. Further, Mr. Lubinda was asking the court to declare the councillor's decision to defer the implementation of its resolution as illegal constitutes abuse of process. And moving on in the news, New Hope Movement for Multi-Party Democracy MMD spokesperson Dr. Kefas Mukuka has disclosed that the Lusaka High Court has discharged the injunction which was sought to stop the party's convention on Saturday, the 12th of March 2021. Speaking with Camnet TV in an exclusive interview, Dr. Mukuka states that the application stood no chance as it was drawn in an irregular and incompetent manner. He states that those saying the dismissal is fake are just wasting their time as the court has already made its ruling.
About the injunction, it does not even exist. So this means that whatever we did during our last convention is valid and legal. Okay? That one I can confirm. I can be put on record because this is what transpired actually. Because you may wish to know that what is coming up on the 9th actually, it is not to do with the injunction now. Our lawyer has raised certain things against our enemies. So this is what the courts will be looking at. Don't be seen to be fighting the law, because what is happening now here, it is very simple and straightforward. The courts, when it went today, the court could not hear. They said, no, we cannot stop something which already took place. This is what is there.
Meanwhile, Operation Safe MMD National Treasurer Geoffrey Mulenga has disputed to the news, claiming it's fake and no injunction was granted by the Lusaka High Court Judge Mwapeboa has been discharged.
We sought injunction to restrain Dr. Mumba from going ahead with the convention. Now it has come to our attention that there is the news circulating in social media that the injunction has been discharged by Justice Boa. I want to make it clear that there is no such thing at the courts. The matter has been set for 9th April, and that is the contempt proceedings before the main matter is heard. And I want the public to ignore that news with the contempt it deserves. We know our colleagues now are desperate, but we wish them to be calm and allow the wheels of justice to continue moving.
President Edgar Lungu has assented to the Cyber Security Bill and Cyber Crimes Bill 2021. The law is, according to the head of state, is aimed at bringing sanity in the way internet is being used in Zambia. In a statement availed to the media by President Edgar Lungu's first secretary for Press and Public Relations, Isaac Chipampe, President Lungu says the law is purely aimed at protecting citizens from abuse by people who feel they can do or say whatever using the cyberspace. The head of state says the bill was convincing enough, hence signing it into law. The bill will, among other things, ensure protection of cybersecurity space in Zambia, protect persons against cyber crimes, facilitate identification, declaration and protection of critical information infrastructure. Democratic Party Eastern Province Chairperson Danton Njovu has advised President Edgar Lungu to stop cheapening the presidency by enticing traditional leaders with gifts. Mr. Njovu notes with sadness the recent happenings where village headmen are given bicycles branded in patriotic front colors, describing it as downgrading the value of traditional leaders. Eastern DP chairman has maintained that chiefs and village headmen are reservoirs of leadership and wisdom bestowed with the authority to manage affairs of all citizens in villages and constituencies that belong to various groupings and must be non-partisan. He has therefore expressed shock to see that the head of state is making donations of PF-branded bicycles to various chiefdoms. Meanwhile, Mr. Njovu has questioned the silence from the church and NGOs and other well-meaning citizens for not condemning this act.
Would have maybe accepted if these bicycles were being donated by cadres, but we are being told on radio and TV that they are being donated by the head of state to the village headmen and to the chiefs. That is uncalled for. You are cheapening the value of headmen within our province. You are cheapening the value of headmen within our villages and constituencies. These are reservoirs of wisdom where we're supposed to rush to make consultations, whether you belong. These are people that should be empowered. Let them receive unbranded. If they have got money to give them, we're not against them being given because our village headmen need transport. But let them not be given branded vehicles. Those are not cadres. They don't belong to any political party.
The opposition All People's Congress leader Nathan Soni has cautioned government over its decision to ban the exportation of maize, predicting that the country will soon witness a rise in price of the staple crop. Mr. Soni believes there has been no adequate due diligence to properly ascertain that the country has sufficient stocks of maize. He notes that government has not learned any lessons from the previous experience and the nightmare of the skyrocketing prices of mealie meal in the country. The opposition leader says the reckless export of the maize ultimately puts the burden on ordinary poor citizens who have to pay high prices for the commodity. The opposition leader anticipates prices of mealie meal to increase, hence driving the ordinary citizens into massive starvation. He explains that it is not too late for government to rescind the decision to allow for the exportation of maize.
So we think that the policies that work against the interests of the overwhelming majority should be avoided, because the outcome of this decision to lift the ban on the exportation of maize means that the prices will start going upwards and will ultimately consign the majority of our people to massive starvation. So we think that it's not too late for government to rescind this policy decision of lifting the ban on the maize export, because the prices of the staple food will automatically start going up and up to a level where the majority of our people will not be able to afford to buy the staple food.
The media network on child rights and development has challenged political parties to demonstrate how they intend to better the education sector when given a mandate to govern the country. Organization Executive Director Henry Kabwe notes that early childhood education remains underscored, hence the need for aspiring leaders to tell the people how they want to influence policies that safeguard the plight of children in the country. Mr. Kabwe has since advised politicians to desist from politics of insults and name-calling, but instead focus on issues that matter for the country, like addressing inequalities in the education sector. More in this report.
Zambians want to hear the voice of hope from all political parties that will be participating in the August 12 general elections. This is equally the time citizens want to look beyond politics of speculation, insults and name-calling by focusing on issues that will secure a better future for the country. Besides political excitements of marching in solidarity with political leaders, acts of violence, focus on social media comedy and random empowerment programs being witnessed in the country, children rights activists want politicians to articulate how they would want to address issues affecting children, especially education. Apparently, children's rights include the right to health, education, family life, and recreation, an adequate standard of living, and to be protected from abuse and harm. Children's rights cover their developmental and age-appropriate needs that change over time. As a child, Media Network on Child Rights and Development Executive Director Henry Kabwe is concerned that inclusive access to early childhood education has remained a challenge in the country.
Parties must explain in their manifestos what they are going to do for children in general. And specifically, we are looking at issues of education. There's need for us to create more infrastructure by first of all doing a baseline about who is found where, how many people are in particular places for us to be able to meet the demand. Then investment in birth registration will be very, very important. Birth registration will make government know how many children are born in 2011, such that those children will be planned for. If 1 million children are born in 2011, we know that after 3 years they need to go to early childhood education centers. After 7 years they will need to start grade 1. So it will be easier for government to plan if we invest in in birth registration. So I'm urging these political parties to talk about how they are going to ensure that birth registration is expanded. I know government has created platforms and we need to just ensure that this is expanded.
If right measures are not put in place, it will be impossible for the country to address Sustainable Development Goal number 4, which seeks to ensure that all girls and boys complete free primary and secondary schooling by 2030. The goal also aims to provide equal access to affordable vocational training to eliminate gender and wealth disparities and achieve universal access to a quality higher education. It is important that those intending to form the next government demonstrate how they would want to better the education sector. Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
A consortium of trade union leaders has put their efforts together in championing workers' rights through electoral management. Speaking during the launch of the union called National Monitoring Group chairperson Ngande Mwananjiti says the National Monitoring Group is a special purpose vehicle whose main objective is to promote championing and campaigning for peace before, during and after the elections. Mr. Mwananjiti notes that workers play an important part in the electoral process of this country, hence forming this group as the country draws closer to the elections. He explains that the trade union consortium endeavors for excellence in the promotion of credible elections. Meanwhile, Zambia Union of Government and Allied Workers President Moyaya Kabisa says the union leaders will not allow employers who will violate the country's electoral process.
No election can be held without the participation of labor members or labor union workers, because you notice that at all stages throughout the country, we are involved either as election executives, officers, technicians, accountants, drivers, name it. All of the entire process is dependent on labor. And because it's dependent on labor, it is only fair and proper that labor gets a platform which is working towards ensuring effective representation of the people's choices.
Stopping employees from voting is an act that contradicts the Constitution. So that is illegal. And we will not support that as trade unions. We have come in to ensure that we monitor the process. And stopping people from voting is sabotaging the process. So that is not allowed. And all those, as President has said, who are found of, giving employees assignments that take them away from voting are highly warned not to do so this time around, because we will be present.
The Examination Council of Zambia, ECZ, says it will manage to verify all grade 12 certificates for all aspiring candidates before the nomination period. Examination Council of Zambia Public Relations Specialist Nicholas Nkua has told Camnet News that the council has increased the number of certification officers. Mr. Nkua has since advised the aspiring candidates to bring their certificates in batches so as to quicken the process for all those aspiring. And a check by a Camnet television crew at the verification center in Lusaka found that there were less than 5 people verifying the results at the center. Details in this report.
Various concerns were raised by stakeholders on whether the Examination Council of Zambia was going to manage verifying all grade 12 certificate for aspiring candidates for the August 2021 general elections. While political parties have called the exercise a hindrance to one's right, some political parties have also accused government of sidelining their popular members from contesting in the coming elections due to not having a grade 12 certificate. But the Examination Council of Zambia says it is up to the task of ensuring that all candidate certificates are verified before the nomination period. A check by Camnet News at Lusaka Boys, where the verification exercise is being conducted, found that the school hall was almost empty due to the fact that most people were already attended to. And the Examination Council of Zambia Public Relations Specialist Nicholas Nkua told this reporter that the council is up to the task and that all aspiring candidates will be certified before the nomination period ends on the 19th May 2021.
I can assure members of the public and indeed anyone that will come through during this period that verification of their results will be done. And actually we have passed on a message to especially those that are vying for various political offices, the political parties, that what can really help also is that they can group or bring these verification documents in batches so that we attend to them as a group as opposed to them coming individually. So that is an option that we recommended to the various political parties to do, for us to even offer them a more efficient service.
Mr. Nkua also says the council has detected some fake grade 12 certificates from various members of the public, the matter that will be investigated further.
In the process, we have also discovered a few qualifications that we are still questioning in terms of them being genuine or not. And yesterday we mentioned that we have so far detected about 8 of those qualifications coming from different classes of individuals, not the politicians, not the people applying for recruitment and so on, but it's encompassing the groups of people that are coming through. So we are yet to establish who in fact is the owner of these qualifications in terms of their class with regards to the service that we are offering.
Aspiring candidates should take advantage of the increased manpower at the council and the newly opened services in different parts of the country to have their grade 12 certificates verified on time and avoid panic as the road comes to an end. Prudence Tota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
We take our first set of commercials. Do stay with us as we still have more interesting stories lined up for you.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
2021 has been described as a highly politically charged year. This is because every 5 years the country goes to the polls, and that 5 years elapses with only a few months remaining down to the ballot. The battlefield to appear on the ballot is becoming fertile. A lot of people are expressing interest of appearing on the ballot.
In all this, our interest is to put the duty bearers, the leaders, and those aspiring to task by asking the relevant questions.
If you're an aspiring candidate, be it councillor, mayor, or member of parliament, get in touch with us to get yourself on the verdict.
We go beyond speculation in dealing with policy and governance issues. The right questions are asked to help you make a verdict.
For more details, you can call us on 0962 965883, 0979 753010, or email us info@camnettvafrica.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Join us on Camnet TV
every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 17:45 hours
on a new program dubbed The Verdict.
Remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel.
Are you a qualified and skilled marketing person? Have you got the passion and motivation as a marketer? Camnet TV is looking for self-motivated, qualified marketers. For more details, please call 0962 965 883 or send your details to the email info@camnettvafrica.com.
Remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We continue with the news. Egyptian ambassador to Zambia, Moapaz Anwar, has charged that Zambia and Egypt have continued to enjoy cardinal relations, as evidenced from the many business partnerships, both on public and private sector. Speaking when he graced the launch of the signing ceremony of Gaba Group Mining Services Limited and the Federation of Small Scale Mining Association in Lusaka Friday evening, Mr. Anwar says the partnership will see Zambia acquire mining equipment and training of small-scale miners by the Egyptian company, which also has Zambian nationals as partners. And Federation of Small-Scale Mining Association of Zambia President Joseph Mwanza says the project will reduce risks being experienced in the small-scale mining sector and increase the output. Meanwhile, Ministry of Mines and Mineral Development Director Human Resource Moses Nyirenda says government has placed among its core to improve the working environment for small-scale miners. And Nyirenda says the Zambia Federation of Small-Scale Miners of Zambia, Joseph Mwanza, says the arsenal sector faces a lot of challenges which will be reduced through the use of modern technology.
Zambia and Egypt have always enjoyed a very good political relations. Since the early years of their independence, the relation between President Kaunda and President Nasser was a very unique one. And ever since, the political relations between the two countries, the two leaderships, has always been at its best. But here is the problem. There are relations in the other areas of cooperation did not match this kind of excellent political relations existing between the two countries. Now, and in the last few years, there has been
mining products provide at affordable prices, which includes the expensive motor, rock drilling, tools, accessories, shall assist our members in meeting their operational objective in the short, medium, and long term. This in turn shall increase output and shorten the time involved. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition, the Federation of Small-Scale Mining of Zambia is grateful that Gaba Group Mining Services Company Limited shall also provide free technical services to our members. The cooperation between the Federation of Small-Scale Mining Association of Zambia and Gaba Group Mining Services Company Limited is a great partnership for mutual benefit.
The 7th National Development Plan, government's focus in the mining sector has continued to be diversification from copper and cobalt to non-traditional minerals like gemstones, gold, and industrial minerals. In addition, government's focus has also been to promote small-scale mining through empowerment, access to finance promotion, occupational health, safety and environment, strengthening skills and development, and investment partnership promotions.
And then we've made Mr. Gaba and Mr. Mansa actors.
The Ministry of Finance says Zambia will, on the 30th of March 2021, resume virtual discussions with the International Monetary Fund, IMF, with the aim of agreeing on an appropriate policy reform agenda to address the economic challenges that Zambia is encountering and support the country's return to a sustainable macro-fiscal situation over the medium term. Ministry of Finance Secretary to the Treasury, Fredson Yamba, says the virtual meeting is expected to last another 2 weeks. Mr. Yamba says a team from the Ministry of Finance, Bank of Zambia, as well as other relevant ministries and institutions will participate in the discussions with the IMF. Previous virtual mission took place between 11th February 2021 and the 3rd of March 2021, where the ministry reports that progress was made with both parties agreeing on the causes of the country's macroeconomic imbalances and the current state of its public finance. And moving on in the news, the Ministry of Health has disclosed that in line with its 2017-2021 strategic plan towards ensuring universal health coverage in the country, it has so far employed 20,000 healthcare workers out of the targeted 30,000 personnel. University Teaching Hospital Clinical Care and Diagnostic Services Director Dr. Alex Mukushi says this progress is a reflection that they are on course towards ensuring that they are adequate health personnel in view of steering quality health care. Dr. Mukushi says the introduction to national health insurance will complement government's aspirations of inclusive health care service delivery. He was speaking when he officiated at the partnership launch of Prudential Health Insurance and Midland Hospital in Lusaka Friday. And Prudential Life Managing Director says the initiative is unique as it puts the interest of the people first. Meanwhile, Midland Hospital Executive Director Dr. Mohammed El Sahili has underscored the need to holistically address various diseases affecting the nation apart from COVID-19.
We've used include the development of human resource for health. Over the past 5 years, we recall, we've said it before, that you've had significant numbers being employed under the Ministry of Health to improve the human resource for health. When we sat just before 2017, we said to ourselves that we are going to recruit 30,000 health workers, and we've gone as far as recruiting 25,000 health workers out of the 30,000 health workers planned, and so we are sitting pretty better than where we were in terms of human resource for health. And this is one important pillar that we have to use in achieving universal health coverage. Infrastructure is another thing that we've aggressively addressed. And then we have to develop a stable supply chain for health. We are gathered here because of one strong pillar, and this is health financing.
We are honoring a partnership between two key players in the Zambian health industry. As a company, we Prudential, we consistently strive to offer the best to our customers. Prudential is proud to extend its offering to Medline client team. Medline places an equal emphasis on providing quality care and value for money to its clients.
But health is not about coronavirus only. It is not about technology-driven only. And indeed, it must not be limited to some. Healthcare must be accessible, affordable, and adequate. Those are the pillars for a successful universal health coverage that we have been debating for years. The government of Zambia has facilitated the implementation of NEMA that many among us are looking for its success. There is no one day at Medland Hospital without management being asked for a membership. I must admit that almost all departments have reported the request for the introduction of patients' packages.
The Mukushi Town Council has suspended 12 liquor licenses belonging to bars and taverns for violating the Liquor Licensing Act and the statutory instrument SI number 21 and 22. Mukushi Town Council Public Relations Officer Clarence Kauma says the authority undertook a joint operation in the early hours of Friday where it was realized that bars were open by 05 hours. Mr. Kauma says the authority has been receiving complaints from members of the public that bars have been closing very late and opening early in the morning, causing noise in the area. Details in this report.
Mr. Speaker, I therefore wish to announce the partial reopening of these outlets from Fridays to Sundays with immediate effect. But of course, with serious caution that all public health guidelines are strictly adhered to. These outlets shall operate from 18 hours to 23 hours.
These were the words of Zambia's President Dr. Edgar Chagwa on 11th of September 2020 when he addressed Parliament. The head of state did not direct that bars and nightclubs should operate on a daily basis, as opposed to what is being witnessed in the country where bars and nightclubs are now operating on a daily basis. The trend by some people to always break the law and go scot-free is what has prompted the Mukushi City Council to ride on some bars Friday morning that were operating as early as 05 hours. And Mukushi Council Public Relations Officer Clarence Kauma says 12 licenses have since been confiscated and that the owners of the bars should explain to the council why their licenses should not be revoked forever.
Moved in as a local authority following quite a number of complaints that we've had across the district, especially in Itala, Patu Nono, where bars have been opening as early as 06 hours and some as early as 05 hours. We swung into action as a local authority with our colleagues from the health department as well as council police. Our aim was to appreciate what is on the ground And our discovery is that indeed bars have been opening as early as 05 hours. Therefore, what we've done is that we have closed down these bars. In total, there are about 12 bars, and we are writing letters to them to exculpate themselves and show reasons as to why their licenses should not be revoked.
The danger in careless drinking is that it does not just destroy one's body, but hinders productivity and the capacity to do productive things. Hangovers have also cost people a lot of resources, chances, opportunities, and life. It is therefore important for persons to take responsibility and become positive contributors to society. Prudence Tota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
The Lusaka District Commissioner, David Silubanje, has observed that there has been a reluctance in the adherence of the monthly presidential initiative of cleaning the environment and surroundings in a bid to revive the Keep Zambia Clean, Green and Healthy campaign. The district commissioner says it is the duty of government workers to act on the complaint from the public so as to improve service delivery in the community. Mr. David Silubanje says there is need for sanity to be revived back into the city by ensuring that illegal land allocation is dealt with. Mr. Silubanje said this Friday morning when he chaired the Lusaka District Development Committee first quarter meeting.
As a government, it is our duty to act on the complaints from the public so as to improve service delivery in our communities by paying attention to these complaints, such as uncorrected garbages, unavailability of clean water, poor roads, floods, and many other complaints which comes through our offices as government workers. It has generally been observed that we are not adhering to the monthly presidential initiative of cleaning our environment and surroundings in a bid to revive the Keep Zambia Clean, Green and Health campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, my office would like to advise parents, guardians to guide our children on the danger of early marriages, HIV/AIDS, and unplanned pregnancies.
We take another set of commercials. Do stay with us as we still have international and sports news. Don't go away.
You know I can take her a bit.
Yes, my dear.
I was thinking of getting you a Bugatti on your birthday.
Really?
I'm quiet. My name is Yana.
Don't worry, man. That's why there is insurance.
Insurance?
You heard me.
Not just any kind of insurance, but Savenda General Insurance, a company that offers superior customer service, highly professional and dedicated staff. We are not just any insurance company, but an insurance company that actually pays our claims. We cover, among others, fire, marine, aviation, engineering, agriculture, motor vehicle, and miscellaneous insurance. So, live life to the full, knowing that Savenda General Insurance has got you covered. Savenda General Insurance. Insurance excellence.
And why do you look so pale and busy scratching yourself?
Alamwandi, you know my skin is very sensitive. I've tried all the skin products and nothing seems to work.
Have you tried Oracle Pure Glycerin?
Oracle Pure Glycerin? What's that?
Just give me a minute.
Oracle Pure Glycerin gives your skin a youthful and healthy glow.
Ish, you're glowing. Don't tell me.
Yes!
I already know the secrets. Oracle Pure Glycerin!
Try Oracle Pure Glycerin for that perfect skin.
Are you a qualified and skilled marketing person? Have you got the passion and motivation as a marketer? Camnet TV is looking for self-motivated qualified marketers. For more details, please call 0962 965 883 or send your details to the email info@camnettvafrica.com.
Remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel.
2021 has been described as a highly politically charged year. This is because every 5 years the country goes to the polls, and that 5 years elapses. With only a few months remaining down to the ballot, the battlefield to appear on the ballot is becoming fertile. A lot of people are expressing interest of appearing on the ballot.
In all this, our interest is to put the duty bearers, the leaders, and those aspiring to task by asking the relevant questions.
If you're an aspiring candidate, be it councillor, mayor, or member of parliament, get in touch with us to get yourself on the verdict.
We go beyond speculation in dealing with policy and governance issues. The right questions are asked to help you make a verdict.
For more details, you can call us on 0962 965883, 0979 753010, or email us info@camnettvafrica.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Join us on Camnet TV
every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 17:45 hours
on a new program dubbed The Verdict.
Remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We continue with the news. In international news, most homes in the vicinity of Suzanne Bay are flimsy structures made up of sheeting and recovered materials. The community is clustered on Freetown's seafront close to the city's historic center. Meanwhile, African News also reports that a Senegalese activist released and calls for an exit of big French retail companies. The three, Guy Sagna, Clédo Sene, and Arsène Dianf, were apprehended following the unrest that came after opposition leader Ousmane Sonko was arrested over an allegation of rape. In other news, Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed said Friday in a statement he tweeted a potential breakthrough in a drawn-out conflict that has seen atrocities carried out against civilians. Here's a roundup.
In Sierra Leone, residents describe the scene as a poor neighborhood in the capital, Freetown, was gutted by fire late Wednesday, March the 24th. Authorities in the city said the death toll is unclear, but thousands may have been affected by the inferno. This fire started from the seaside, coming in with heavy winds. While the fire was in progress, it changed its direction to another side at around 6:30 p.m. It kept moving to the east part and later spread all over. It was out of control. About 400 or more houses are gone. Most of us here are traders, so unfortunately, most people were out doing business when the fire occurred.
Before the fire take over, nobody absolutely not put nothing.
Most homes in the vicinity of Suzanne Bay are flimsy constructions made of sheeting and recovered materials. The community is clustered on Freetown seafront, close to the city's historic center. The European Union ambassador to the country, Tom Vance, said it was looking at ways to send aid to the survivors.
Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has announced that neighboring Eritrea will pull its troops out of the conflict-ridden Tigray region. Abiy's statement on Friday followed a visit to Asmara, the capital of Eritrea. In his statement published on Twitter, Abiy said that following his discussions on Friday with Eritrean President Isaias Afwerki, the government of Eritrea has agreed to withdraw its forces out of the Ethiopian border. Troops from both the Ethiopian and Eritrean military forces have been accused of carrying out abuses against the civilian population in the border region. Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch have both accused Eritrea soldiers of carrying out a massacre of hundreds of Tigrayans in the town of Hasum. Ethiopian forces have also been accused of abuses.
A day after his release from police custody, Guy Mario Sagna, a well-known Senegalese figure, spoke against French influence in the country. Targeting big French retail companies, the activist said he was making the call in the interest of Senegalese shoppers.
If the goal is to prevent us from saying Auchan, Carrefour, then get out. And let's be straightforward, and we prefer to defend the interests of Senegalese shopkeepers rather than imperialist shopkeepers. You're wasting your time. Today, more than ever, we say GLS, go home, and French army out. European ships out of African seas, because we think that we have to defend first the interest of the African people.
On Wednesday, a Senegalese court granted preliminary release of 3 activists for insurrection, prosecutors said. The 3, Guy Mario Sagna, Clédor Sène and Assane Diouf, were apprehended following the unrest that came after opposition leader Ousmane Sonko was arrested over rape allegation. The 3 men were arrested on February the 22nd and the 23rd before the violence broke out. Police accused them of planning protests in Dakar against court cases targeting Sonko.
We now get into sports news. The Chipolopolo efforts to seek redemption in the AFCON race failed yesterday when they played Algeria, a game that ended on a 3-draw, putting Zambia on the sidelines. The match, which was a defining one of whether Zambia will proceed to the next round. This is the 3rd time that Zambia has failed to qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations in a row under the management of Andrew Kamanga. However, Zambia is expected to fulfill its match playoff with Zimbabwe next week. Well, that sports item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, a recap of the headlines. Watch out, social media users, as President Edgar Lungu signs the cybersecurity bill into law. Confusion continues to characterize MMD. 35-year-old defiler of 4 girls committed to the High Court for sentencing. And in international news, EU looks at ways to send aid to the vicinity gutted by Inferno in Sierra Leone. And in sports news, Zambia has for the 3rd time in a row failed to qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations. We now look at the Camnet verse of the day, which is coming from the book of Jeremiah 17:7-8, and it reads, "The man who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence indeed is the Lord, is blessed. He will be like a tree planted by the water. It sends its roots out towards a stream. It doesn't fear when heat comes, and it doesn't foliage, and its foliage remains green. It will not worry in a year of drought or cease producing fruit." On behalf of the entire news production crew and myself, Liseli Kanyanga Mubanga, thank you so much for watching Camnet TV News on Camnet TV, not just another channel.